Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, beta. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Okay. I don't know what happened in the morning. Voice was not coming. Something or the other was happening. I was so fed up with this. I got so this thing ki pata nahi kyun. All of a sudden my screen went blank. Pata nahi kyun. Okay. You want to do question answers or let us continue with the chapter that we were doing?
I'm chapter.
है ना?
Ma'am, chapter.
ठीक है, चलो done. That is more interesting.
Ma'am, history or geography?
No, geography. Of course, we were doing geography only. No. History though, anyhow, we have completed chapter 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Good morning, ma'am.
good morning, Angel. Chalo, let everyone join. We'll wait for a minute or so.
Good morning, ma'am.
Fine. I hope you all have the books with you, geography.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, little bit of explanation I'll have. Furthermore, till whatever we did, no. I'll just share the screen with you all. Give me a minute. Huh?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Vita. Good morning. Vita, can you all see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I think we started. Fine. I told you about what is a drainage and what exactly we are going to do in this chapter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Ma'am, what I have to read?
What? Yes, beta, Naitik. What did you say?
Ma'am, my voice is coming.
हाँ बेटा बिल्कुल आ रही है बच्चा बिल्कुल आराम से आ रही है. So in the previous class I told you that what is drainage, and now drainage is a system of flowing water from a higher level to the lower levels, right? In this chapter we are going to read about various sources of water, rivers and lakes, and how these rivers and lakes they बेटा वेद आप दोबारा ज्वाइन कर लो बच्चा, बिकॉज ये प्रॉब्लम होती है कोई कई बार बच्चों को. ठीक है, आप दोबारा से ज्वाइन कर लो, कोई इशू नहीं है. ठीक है. हाँ. Okay. So how these rivers and these lakes they add on to the prosperity of the country. We all know that rivers are very important for a country's development. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine. So then I told you about that the drainage describes the river system of an area, right? है ना? यही तो बताया था, right class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then I told you about the drainage basin. What is a basin? You know, wash basin. You all know, and it has a hole over here, right? The water coming from all the three sides goes into this single pipe, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Now, drainage basins are exactly like this. When we talk of the drainage basins, we are talking about the river water that is joined by several tributaries, and finally, in a larger water body, say sea, the mouth allows the river water to join the larger water body, where it finally meets its end. Okay, starting from the mountains, the source, it goes till the mouth. Okay, clear class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now when an area is drained by a river system, it is called the drainage basin. यहाँ पे any doubt, anything which is not clear or understood?
No, ma'am.
Perfect, perfect. See, like I was talking about the source, no? Suppose these are Himalayas. We have the origin of the river from here. We have the source here. It keeps on moving. It is joined by different tributaries, different sources of water. And finally, see, there are stages. When the river flows, there are stages: upper stage, middle stage, and the lower stage. Lower stage is the lower course, is the plains where the river flows, and in the lower course of its journey, rivers, they form several landforms like Oxbow Lake, fine, then meanders. All these structures are formed by the river in the lower course when it is at its depositional work. See, in the lower course, the river is tired of traveling such a long distance, and it starts depositing all the sediments that is brought by the river in the due course of its in its due course, and ultimately it forms Oxbow Lake, meanders, then deltas. Fine. All these landforms are made by the river in the lower course. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, I'll show you diagrammatic representation. See, like, this is river water flowing. Okay, this is one stage, this is another stage, and this is the lower stage. Okay, it is flowing. Now, when in the lower course, it keeps on moving like these loops that you see. Can you see these loops?
Yes, ma'am.
These loops are called meanders, right? These loops are called meanders, and over a period of time, what happens when these loops, they are cut from the main river? They form the Oxbow Lake, right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, finally, when the river water enters the main river, see, this is the last course of the river. Now, this is a triangular shaped feature that is formed when the river water finally goes into the sea. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here, the feature that is formed over here is called a delta.
Delta.
Class 7th, you people must have done this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this delta is considered to be one of the fertile region of any river basin, okay? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
See, these triangular structures that are formed, these are the floodplains. And these blue dots that you see, these are the triangular shaped structures which are called deltas, okay? Right?
Okay, ma'am.
So different in the lower course, different landforms are formed by the river because of the deposition that it does. Because of the deposition. Erosion in the upper and the middle courses. Like the upper course has more of erosional activities than the depositional, because we know that when the water flows from the slope, it cut down the edges of the rocks through which it is passing. And in the middle course, it starts, it erodes also, it deposits also. And in the final course, which is the lower course, it keeps on depositing all the sediments that are brought by the river in the due course of time, right? This much is clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we come to the water divide.
Himalayan rivers.
Achha, chalo, theek hai. Let us come to the river systems. Okay. Now, when we talk of the river system in our country, there are two river systems in our country. Okay. Namely, Himalayan and peninsular. Now, what is this Himalayan river system and what is this peninsular river system? Do you know? Any one of you who knows? Batao beta.
The rivers which have origin from the Himalayas and passes from North India is known as Himalayan river system.
Very good.
And the rivers that passes through peninsular region of the country and emerges and merges into the sea from peninsular region are peninsular river system.
Okay, no. First one is correct. Second one, little bit correct. Half of it is correct. Well tried. Very good, Aditya. Now see Himalayan river system. If yes, beta.
Ma'am, it is formed from Western Ghats.
बच्चा आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही हमको. Who is this, Naitik? Is it you?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. हाँ नैतिक, अब बोलो बेटा. भाई आपकी आवाज क्या कह रहे थे बच्चा?
Ma'am, peninsular rivers are formed from Western Ghats.
Yes, because these rivers, they have their origin from the Central Highlands or the Western Ghats. That is why they are called the peninsular rivers. Now see, when we talk of the Himalayan rivers, there are basically three Himalayan rivers: Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, right?
Brahmaputra.
Very good. Very good. And when we talk about the peninsular rivers, there are how many? How many peninsular rivers we have?
5.
5. Nahi, 6. Beta, 6. We have 6.
6.
Yes, 6 we have. Namely, we have
Narmada, Tapi,
okay, Narmada.
Godavari,
We have Tapi. Okay, wait a second. Godavari,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Kaveri,
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 Mahanadi,
and
Mahanadi.
Mahanadi. Very good. Mahanadi. See, Krishna reminds me of Krishna Gupta of the class. He never attends his online class. He's always offline. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Fine. See, when we talk of the peninsular rivers, these peninsular rivers, they are categorized into two categories: east flowing and west flowing. Right? These east flowing rivers are those rivers which move towards the Bay of Bengal, and west flowing rivers are those which flow towards the Arabian
Arabian Sea.
Sea. Yes. Now, out of these 6 rivers that you have told me of the peninsular river system, can you name the 2 rivers that flow westwards towards Arabian Sea?
Narmada and Tapi.
Very good, Dhruv. Very smart. Huh? Very good. It is Narmada and Tapi. And the remaining 4, they are the east flowing rivers. They flow towards the Bay of Bengal, and like when Narmada and Tapi, when they enter the Arabian Sea, they form estuaries. It is a
Krishna and Kaveri.
yes, wait. It is a funnel-like structure. ऐसा होता है बेटा. It is something like this. ठीक है, funnel. It has got a big mouth but narrow from inside. Okay, right, class?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then when we talk of the east flowing rivers which flow towards the Bay of Bengal, namely Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi. These 4 rivers, they flow towards the east, draining into Bay of Bengal, and when they drain into Bay of Bengal, they make deltas. Now these deltas are triangular structures. Like estuaries are funnel-like structure, so deltas are triangular in shape. Fine. These deltas, they are considered to be one of the most fertile regions of any country. Wherever deltas are formed, deltas are considered to be very fertile. If we talk about the Sundarban deltas, we all know that they are the most fertile region of our country. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. Now, why Narmada and Tapi form estuary, and why the remaining 4 they form deltas? Do you know what is the reason behind it? Class?
Ma'am, because Western Ghats are very high.
Western Ghats are very high
Yes,
and
I'm rigid.
huh?
And because Western Ghats are very high and rigid.
High and rugged. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. They are very, see, estuaries are basically formed by the rivers which flow in the rocky surfaces. Where the surfaces are hard, these estuaries are formed because of the continuous flow of the river water. And in due course of time, they form deep funnel-like structures, right? Where we have soft surfaces like the rivers flowing towards in the plain regions where the land is very soft, they form deltas, and these deltas are considered to be very fertile regions. Estuaries, they have no such qualities, but estuaries are the funnel-like structures which are formed by the river in due course of its time when it is finally meeting the larger water body. Clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, sometimes you get in exams that what is the difference between east flowing and the west flowing peninsular rivers. So you have to remember that both directions are different. larger water body in which they merge are different, plus they form different structures. One forms estuary and the other forms the deltas, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, if I ask you, if I tell you that the Himalayan rivers that we have, and the peninsular rivers, you must have come across this term perennial and non-perennial. Have you heard of this word, Manrina?
No, ma'am.
Naitik, Shaurya?
Yes, ma'am.
Shaurya is not there in the class. Angel, have you heard of
Yes,
this?
ma'am.
Have you heard of this name perennial and non-perennial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
No, ma'am.
no. Okay, Naitik, tell me what is perennial and what is non-perennial?
Ma'am, I have heard the name only. I don't know the meaning.
What, you don't know the?
Ma'am, I only heard the word, not the meaning.
Okay, so who will tell me the meaning? Any one of you who has heard this word?
Ma'am,
Last
perennial rivers are the
combine.
rivers
Huh?
that flow throughout the year.
Perennial means those rivers, perennial Himalayan rivers are called perennial rivers because their origin is from the Himalayas, and Himalayas are snow fed. They are covered with snow throughout the year. That is why the rivers that originate from Himalayas, they have water throughout the year. And during the rains, these rivers, they overflow. These rivers, they overflow. Whereas the peninsular rivers, those we have, these peninsular rivers, they are rain fed rivers. Only during the rains they have water in them, and in the other seasons, especially the summer season, they completely dry up. Okay. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, difference between snow fed and rain fed understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Himalayan rivers, they move only in one direction towards the east and finally meets the Bay of Bengal. And whereas peninsular rivers, there are difference in the direction in which these rivers flow. Two rivers of peninsular region, they flow towards the west, remaining four move towards the east, right? This is the difference. Now, rain fed also means that during the summers, these rivers completely dry. Whereas during summers, because these are snow fed rivers, so they have water in summers as well in them, right? Right, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Chaliye, perfect. Okay. Let us start from the book now.
Okay, ma'am.
Perfect. So let me open the book on the screen for you all. Just a second. Retrieve post. But can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo. Uh, do we have Bhavya in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Bhavya. Read beta.
Chapter 3, Drainage. The term drainage describes the river system of an area. Look at the physical map. You will notice that small streams flowing from different directions come together to form the main river, which ultimately drains into a large water body such as lake or a sea or an ocean. The area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin.
Beta, you can underline
close-
the. Beta, you can underline. You can underline this. The term drainage describes the river system of an area. Then you can underline the area drained by a single river system is called a drainage basin. Underline.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And then, fine. These two you underline. Very good. Next.
A closer observation on a map will indicate that any elevated area, such as a mountain or an upland, separates two drainage basins. Such an upland is known as a water divide.
ठीक है. Perfect. Carry on.
Drainage system in India. The drainage system of India are mainly controlled by the broad relief features of the subcontinent. Accordingly, the Indian rivers are divided into two major groups, the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. Apart from originating from the two major physiographic regions of India, the Himalayan and the peninsular rivers are different from each other in many ways.
Okay,
Most of the Himalayan
wait. Can we have Aditya reading now?
Ma'am, can I read?
Wait. Let Aditya finish. Then Manrina will read. Okay.
Most of the Himalayan rivers are perennial. It means that they have water throughout the year. These rivers receive water from rain as well as from the melted snow from the lofty mountains.
ठीक है.
The two major Himalayan rivers, the Indus and the Brahmaputra, originates from the north of the mountain ranges. They have cut through the mountain, making gorges. The Himalayan river have long courses from their source to the sea.
They perform.
They perform intensive erosional activity in their upper courses and carry huge loads of silt and sand. In the middle and the lower courses, these rivers form meanders, oxbow lakes, and many other depositional features in the floodplains. They also have well-developed deltas. A large number of peninsular rivers have seasonal as they flow independent on rainfall. During the dry season, even the large rivers have reduced flow of water in their channels. The peninsular rivers have shorter and shallower courses shallower courses as compared to Himalayan counterparts. However, some of them originated in the central highlands and flow towards the west. Can you identify two such large rivers? Most of the rivers of peninsular India originates in the Western Ghats and flow towards the Bay of Bengal.
The two rivers that originate in the central highlands and flow towards the west are
Tapi and
Narmada.
Perfect.
And the four that originate from the Western Ghats and flow towards the Bay of Bengal?
Mahanadi,
Godavari,
Godavari,
Mahanadi,
Krishna
and Kaveri.
Very good. Perfect. Chalo. Carry on.
The Himalayan rivers. The major Himalayan rivers are the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. These rivers are long and are joined by many large and important tributaries. A river along with its tributaries may be called a river system. The Indus River system. The river Indus rises in Tibet near Lake Mansovar,
Mansarovar,
Mansarovar,
flowing
flowing
west,
west. It enters India in the Ladakh.
district
It
of.
forms a picturesque gorge
Beta,
in
beta,
this
wait.
part.
Wait, it is written no that it enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. Now it is not Ladakh district, it is the Ladakh Union Territory.
Union Territory.
Okay. Chalo. Manrina, you carry on.
It forms a picturesque gorge in this part. Several tributaries, the Zaskar, the Nubra, and the Shauk and the Hunza, join in the Kashmir region. The Indus flows through Baltistan and Gilgit and emerges from the mountains at Attock.
Hmm.
The Satluj, the Beas, the Ravi, the Chenab, and the Jhelum join together to enter the Indus near
Mithanpur.
Mithankot in Pakistan.
Hmm.
Beyond this, the Indus flows southwards, eventually reaching the Arabian Sea east of Karachi. The Indus plain has a very high gentle slope with a total length of 2,900 kilometers. The Indus is one of the longest rivers in the world. A little over a third of the Indus basin is located in Ladakh, in India, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Punjab, and the rest is in Pakistan.
Now it should not be states, it should be Union Territories, Jammu and Kashmir, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Chalo. Beta, do you know also you have to read?
Okay, ma'am. Do you know, according to the regulations of the Indus Water Treaty 1960, India can use only 20% of the total water carried by Indus river system. This water is used for irrigation in Punjab, Haryana, and in the southern and the western parts of Rajasthan.
Carry on. Acha,
The
anything
Ganga River.
up till here, anything to be explained?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Chalo. Let's carry on. The Ganga rivers.
The Ganga,
Now see, we'll be
the
reading.
Ganga River system.
Wait. We'll be reading because we are reading about the river systems, right? So first we'll be reading about the Himalayan river systems. In that first system, we have read about Indus. Now we'll be reading about Ganga river system. Okay? Fine, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Chalo.
Okay, ma'am.
Continue, beta.
The Ganga River system. The headwaters of the Ganga, called the Bhagirathi, is fed by Gangotri Glacier and joined by Alaknanda at Dev Prayag in Uttarakhand. At Haridwar, the Ganga emerges from the mountains onto the plains. The Ganga is joined by many tributaries from the Himalayas, a few of them being major rivers such as the Yamuna, the Ghaghara,
Ghagra, correct.
and the Gandak in the Kosi. The river Yamuna rises from the Yamunotri Glacier in the Himalayas. It flows parallel to the Ganga and as a right bank tributary meets the Ganga at Allahabad. The Ghagra, the Gandak, and the Kosi, Gandak and the Kosi rise in the Nepal Himalaya. They are the rivers which flood parts of the northern plains every year, causing widespread damage to life and property, whereas they enrich the soil for agriculture use.
For the
main tributaries.
Beta, it by enriching the soil for the extensive agricultural lands, right? The main tributaries. Carry on. Okay. Do we have?
Ma'am, have you seen the confluence?
What I have seen?
The confluence of Alaknanda and Bhagirathi.
In practical, I have not seen, but only in pictures I have seen, beta.
Ma'am, I have seen in practical just in these summer vacations.
It is. Acha, these summer vacations only.
Yes, ma'am.
It is so beautiful, no? Two different colors and coming together.
Yes, ma'am.
That is really beautiful. Good. Acha, you went to Mankaran Sahib, right? or
Ma'am, Hemkund Sahib.
Hemkund Sahib, sorry, Hemkund Sahib. Okay, got it, got it. So how is that, like, beautiful, no?
Yes, ma'am. One is of green color and one is of blue color.
Nice, that's so good. Chalo, beautiful. Fine. Chalo, carry on.
Enlarged with the waters from its right and left bank tributaries, the Ganga flows eastwards till Farakka in West Bengal. This is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta. The river
Bifurcates here.
bifurcates here. The Bhagirathi Hooghly flows southwards through the deltic plains to the Bay of Bengal. The main stream flows southwards into Bangladesh and is joined by the Brahmaputra. Further downstream, it is known as the Meghna. This mighty river, with waters from the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, flows into the Bay of Bengal. The delta formed by these rivers is known as the Sundaram Delta.
Sundarban Delta.
Sundarban Delta.
Okay, do you know? Read, do you know?
Do you know the Sundarban Delta derived its name from the Sundari tree, which grows well in marshland.
Marshland. Marshy lands क्या होता है? What are marshy lands?
Ma'am, that other one.
Huh? What is a marshy land?
Muddy lands.
Muddy
Which
lands.
have mud content.
Those lands where the water never dries up, and because of continuous flow of water, the water and mud, they turn into marsh. दलदली जिसको हम बोलते हैं हिंदी में, है ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So these are the
Yes.
marshy lands. Very good. Carry on.
It is the world's largest and fastest growing delta. It is also the home of Royal Bengal tiger.
Hmm.
The length of the Ganga is over 2,500 kilometers. Look at the figure 3.4. Can you identify the type of drainage pattern from the Ganga river system?
Formed by the Ganga River.
Ambala,
Wait. I'll show you the figures. This is figure 3.3. They are talking about 3.4, right? This is major rivers. Now, okay, before we read about this pattern, can any one of you read this drainage patterns? Can any one of you read?
ma'am, in our book, this is not there.
It's not given.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
So you have the fresh editions with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us not have it then.
Ma'am,
Then-
I have the old edition.
But then there is no point, no? When in the new books it is not given, that means it is not included in the syllabus, right? Right, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall. Wait. Shall read, beta.
Ambala is located on the water divide between the Indus and the Ganga river systems. The plains from Ambala to the Sundarban stretch over nearly 1800 kilometers. But the fall in its slope is hardly 300 meters. In other words, there is a fall of just 1 meter for every 6 kilometers. Therefore, the river develops large meanders.
Okay, we have very less time now. Let us stop reading. I hope up till here everything is clear and understood to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Ma'am.
We will not be we'll be continuing from here only in tomorrow's class. We'll not recapitulate it. Fine.
okay, ma'am.
Fine.
Ma'am.
Okay. And I'll be giving you flowcharts for different river systems that we have, so that your learning becomes little easy. Okay, class?
Okay, ma'am.
Chalo, just